midav nikiyut, which means cleanliness, meaning being perfect, being as best as we can in all facets of the mitzvot, in all facets of our lives. And therefore, we said many times before that there are some sins that people desire more, and there are some sins that a lot of people fall into. And therefore, we need to make hizuk, we need to make strengthening, as we said in the Gemara Masech Chagiga, Yudal Famud Bet, Gezel Arayot Nafshon Shel Adam Mechametan Mutavel Lahen, theft and illicit relationships are things that a person desires and craves. So therefore, we got to start by learning how to be clean from these sins first of all. And he says, "Hine anachnu rim af pi shelo ro bnei adam ganavim gelu." We know most people are not outright thieves. Most people will not go and walk over to somebody and just grab money off their wrist or grab money off their hand. But they are what? Rubam toamim tam kneva b'mas'am matna. But most of them do get a taste of theft in the course of their business. They do taste theft. How? They rationalize for themselves the permission for one man to profit from another man's loss. Right? And they say, they say, Rabbi, making the profit is different. When it comes to business, mutar. So therefore, they go and they do a lot of theft that in his own personal life, he has ethos, he has ethics, he's a well-mannered derech eretz. He says, derech eretz kala b'Torah. You have to say hello to the guy. You have to give him a chair. You have to invite him to sit down when he visits your house. But business, no. What are you talking about? Business is business, Rabbi. It's different. So, haz v'shalom, a person has to make sure that he doesn't have that mentality. V'ulam, lavim arben emru b'gazel. Many times the Torah prohibits things related to theft. Lo ta'ashok, you should not cheat your fellow. Lo tikzol, you should not rob. Lo tiknovu, do not steal. Lo techachashu, do not lie. Do not deny that you don't owe money. Lo teshakru ish ba'amito, do not lie one to another. Lo tonui tish amito, do not cheat one another. Lo tsikra go to varecha, do not move the boundary line of your fellow. That's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 right there, just about not stealing. These are all different subcategories of theft, and therefore a person has to know how to deal with them with the laws of business. Because not just outright cheating or theft is asur, but anything that can lead to or cause it is also considered prohibited. That's what the sages tell us. And he did not defile his fellow's wife. Pasuk in Yechezkel. What does this refer to? The Gemara tells us it refers to Shelo yara leumnot havero. He did not encroach on his fellow's trade. We know that there's a prohibition of sagat gvul. In a certain situation, you're not allowed to open the same type of business next to your friend's business. So you see, the Torah prohibits even such a behavior. Even though he's not outright stealing, he's opening his own business, he's making his own money. Still, you're encroaching into your friend's trade, so therefore it's considered, the Torah considers it as if he's defiling his fellow's wife. So you see that the person has to learn these things. Rabbi Yehuda used to say it would be asur to train a person to distribute nuts or candies to the children so they should frequent his store. Right? One supermarket wanted more people to come to him, so he gives out free candy. So that's why the kid cries and says, "I want a candy, I want a candy." And that way he'll force the parents to always go to that supermarket. They say, "Hi, we're here. We'll shop here. We won't go to the other one." So you see, Rabbi Yehuda used to say this is asur. It's not permitted. It's making an unfair advantage over the other ones. Velo etiru chachamim. The chachamim did not permit it, like forbid it, like Rabbi Yehuda, and only because technically the other guy also could give candy if you want to. If you want people to come to you, go serve candy. But you see, if they wouldn't be able to, Chachamim would also say it's not fair and would prohibit it. Chachamim say the sages tell us about Batra, stealing from a common man is more severe than stealing from the temple. In the case of theft from a regular person, the Torah used the word grech, sin, before the word treachery in the Torah, and the Torah uses for the temple. So you see, Hashem considers a sin for against another person, stealing from another person, actually worse than stealing from HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. Furthermore, the sages tell us they exempted the work when you're doing work for an employer, birkat hamazon or birkat hamotzi or birkat achronot. It used to be that the Chachamim used to be so concerned for stealing from an employer that they said, "Oh, if you're working for an employer by the hour, you don't have to say birkat hamazon, you don't have to say birkat hamotzi, because those few minutes, those few seconds, you're stealing from the employer." In the Ilu b'Kriyat Shema, and they said, "Okay, you can only stop to say the first verse of Kriyat Shema. You don't have to say the rest of Kriyat Shema." So you see, all these things, when you're working by the hour, you cannot sit on your phone, you cannot go check your sports and check all this stuff and go to the bathroom for half an hour, all these things, and steal from the employer because you're getting paid by the hour. Even for mitzvot, the chachamim were strict. How much more so for a person to go and do devar rashut, says Mesilat Yesharim, to go do things that are optional, things that are not important. How much more so a person take time. But the point is, he's going to go off on a very long discussion now that a person has to make sure that he is doing honest business dealings, because you could think all your life you did kosher business and you're not stealing and you could get a rude awakening. So therefore a person has to be naki, clean when it comes to business, and he does with other people. Baruch Adonai Olam.